if you're an older beginner, it's the time of year when our Black Friday sale has started here at Digital DJ Tips. So we've got all of our DJ courses on a special offer that you can't get any other time of the year. So a lot of people are buying courses and are starting DJing. And we are the school of choice for older DJs. And with decades in the game ourselves, of course, we know it was acceptable in the 80s because we were there. And so if you are an older DJ wanting to learn, you've got distinctive things which are going to be challenges for you that maybe other people don't have. You know, as I say, we have DJs from kind of 18 to 80. Trust me, we do. If you go to our testimonials on the website, you'll see testimonials from people of all ages. And so if you are older and you're thinking, this is going to be for me, am I going to be able to get anywhere learning to DJ? Is this just a pipe dream? Am I being silly? Then I encourage you to go and take a look at some of these testimonials. You'll find them on the menu at the top of our website of people just like you who have learned to DJ with us. And also listen on, because I've got 5 great tips here to help you get started as a DJ in this modern age, at an older age yourself. Of course, we're live, and that means that you can comment, and I'd love you to comment. Just type into Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or wherever you are your comments about challenges getting started in DJing older, or maybe if you're one of our students, share with other people how we've managed to help you to do this. Right, shall we get started with our 5 tips? I just want to start off actually by saying what a great thing it is to learn to DJ at any age, but especially if you're a bit older, because look, it's a new adventure, right? It's a way of maybe getting your confidence back, giving yourself a big boost of confidence to do something that you've always wanted to do. It's a new lease of life. I know it's a cliche, but doing something you've always loved and starting to get somewhere with it is a great way to give yourself a lease of life. Or maybe you're bored of other things you've been doing for a long time. For all these reasons, oh, and of course you could earn some money. You could earn some money. There's plenty of older DJs playing to older crowds all over the world. So there's challenges, but there's also rewards there. And it's definitely worth doing. You know, if you want to do this, it's probably been gnawing away at you for half your life, right? That's why you're here. So it's a good thing to do. That's the first thing. Bear that in mind, because you're going to have a few things that you need to figure out. And knowing that there's a good reason behind wanting to do this is going to give you the motivation. Right, let's talk about 5 of those things. Now, there's so many things we could talk about here, but I'm going to pick 5 that our students ask us about all the time. So the first one, I've just said it, is time. Because family, work, other leisure commitments, maybe you're in a gym, maybe you've got sports clubs or whatever, it's difficult to find the time to do anything new sometimes, isn't it? Now, maybe you're lucky, maybe you're kind of nearing retirement age and this is your thing that you're going to fill all that time that you think you've got. But I've got news for you, and this comes straight from the mouth of my father, who says, I've never been busier than since I retired. So don't think you're going to suddenly have loads of time. There's something about being an adult which means time feels precious. And so it's not like being a kid in the summer holidays where you just do what you want and it feels like time stretches out forever. It's not like being a student when you've got the time to literally just chase your dreams for maybe years on end. That's what I did. Time is something which is precious, right? So how are you going to fit DJing into your life? We advise a lot of DJs on this. The main thing is to be realistic and then to plan your time into your calendar. So if you've got an electronic calendar on your phone or whatever, it's easy enough to put time in there and say, look, an hour every 4 days or whatever, or half an hour every 3 days, or I'm just going to do it on Mondays, Thursdays and Sundays or whatever. Put it in as an appointment to yourself in the same way you'd put any other appointment into your calendar. That does 2 things. It means you take it seriously, and it also means that other people who have got access to your calendar, like your family and so on, they can see that you're booked at that time. You know, you wouldn't miss a dental appointment or your sports team or whatever. Of course you wouldn't, because it's a commitment. So make the commitment to yourself to do it. And the second thing about time is little and often always beats big chunks of time. So if you want to learn to DJ, it's far better to have maybe an hour 3 times a week than try and do a whole afternoon on a Sunday or whatever. For 2 reasons. One, you learn in between the practice. It's crazy, but it's true. You practice a bit and then you go and think about it until the next practice session. And it's in the thinking that it's all sinking in. It's in the thinking that you're joining the dots and growing. Same with any kind of learning. But secondly, you know, if something comes up on that Sunday afternoon, you've just missed a whole week of practice. So try and program in regular, short practice sessions. Be realistic, and you're far more likely to get more done. And if you do miss one, then who cares? You know, ultimately, that's life. You'll still have done maybe 3 of your 4 this week, so it's all good. Time is always going to be a challenge, but hopefully those tips will help you to at least get some practice in, even on the challenging weeks. So the second thing that our students tell us all the time, and this is a big one, it's so big in fact we made a video series about it, is the technology, right? It's getting used to the tech. I mean, you look at modern DJ gear, this is a modern CDJ and mixer setup. It's a big far cry from a couple of old-fashioned turntables and an old mixer, right? And that was hard enough to master. A lot of people do not want to have to worry about computers and operating systems and file formats and downloading and arranging libraries and backing things up and learning all the buttons and learning all the features. And honestly, you look at some DJ training videos online and it's kind of like, hey, do you want to learn how to do this? And then there's 15 things that you just think, no, I don't. I just want to DJ. The thing with technology is that you can start by learning the very basics, which are the things that DJs have always done. Just because you've got flashy gear like this or like stuff over here, it doesn't mean you've got to learn everything that it does. The biggest problem that older DJs have, that older learners have in our experience is if they're not very savvy with computers themselves, right? Because you do need a computer. You do need to be able to use a computer to get the music and get it onto your DJ gear and all that stuff. It's just unfortunately unavoidable. If you struggle with things like digital photos and figuring out where your files are when you're using word processors and so on, look, it's all perfectly normal. But the problem here is that anything you do on a computer requires that minimum level of knowledge. So look, if you haven't got it, that's fine. Just ask someone in your family who has. You're going to have, hopefully, a whole queue of younger people who know all about that stuff. So don't sweat it on your own. Ask someone who knows what they're doing to help you set stuff up and to show you the workflows to get to where you want to be, which is stood in front of your DJ gear, ready to do the basics. And as I say, we've got a video series. So if you go to the Digital DJ Tips YouTube channel and just search for Back to Basics, or even just search for Basics, you'll see a 3-video set that we made quite recently, which is designed to help people returning to DJing or people new to DJing who want to do it but have seen it done the old way and are not interested in learning all the bells and whistles just yet and just want to get started with modern gear. It will show you exactly how to do that. It's called Back to Basics and it's on our YouTube channel. So go there after this if you want to see a really easy way into DJing with any modern gear that will just get you to the point where you can play music like it's always been done. That's the first step to get to. So don't worry about the technology. Get help from younger people in your family if you've got basic computer issues. And remember, in our courses, we train DJs like you and we are there to help, and we spend a lot of time on basic technical stuff, so there'll be nothing you can ask us that we haven't helped someone with before. Don't let the technology get in the way of the art. It's a shame if you let that happen. So the third, and by the way, if you've just joined us, we're talking about tips for older DJs getting started in this amazing hobby of ours. If you are an older DJ, you've always wanted to do it, you're a little bit scared, a little bit apprehensive, then we can help. And that's what we're doing now. We've already looked at finding the time and we've already looked at getting over kind of technological hurdles. Let's now talk about an obvious one really, which is just physical limitations. Look, we can't stay out all night anymore. It takes us a week to recover from, you know, a hangover that used to take us an afternoon. And so the point here is that we have physical limitations in how much energy we've got, but also literally physical limitations. You might have a dodgy back, or your feet might hurt when you stand up for too long. Your neck might hurt looking down at your gear and all this stuff. Look, I know it, I've been there. I spent years, I don't think I've got a pair of headphones here to demonstrate this little one. In fact, I have. I spent years DJing like this, right? Don't do this, by the way. Jeff does this, Jazzy Jeff does this as well, like that. Right, so your hands are free because you're holding the ear cup to your ear like this. So your hands are free to DJ. Sounds good. Trouble is, you end up like this. Literally, that's how you end up. The chiropractic bills to get me back to standing properly are something I would rather have avoided. And there's all kinds of things that can leave us as we get older, not quite in our prime anymore, right? So look, there's a few tips I've got if you've got any kind of physical limitations. The first thing is, look, DJing can't necessarily, doesn't necessarily mean you've got to be stood there all the time doing it. It's fine to sit down, especially if you're at home, you're practicing, you're learning to mix, you're learning to maybe prepare your music for sharing online or whatever, and you're just going through new music and all that stuff. All of these things, you don't have to be stood there like I am here. But another tip, have your table that you DJ on high enough. Look, if you haven't got a nice high table like this one or this one, just stick a box underneath your DJ gear to get it high enough. So your back's like this. There's nothing that's going to get you in more pain than having your DJ gear too low and you're hunched over like this. Same with your laptop. People always ask about this stand that we use here. And this has got a pole at the back here that will get this laptop so high that you can have it right in front of your face, and that way you're not going to be hunching or going like this to view the laptop. And so this stand, by the way, djtips.co/stand. djtips.co/stand. It will take you straight to this stand because so many people ask us where to buy it. It's not an affiliate link or anything. I have no idea about the company who makes it, but we've got a short code because so many people ask. You know, another thing about physical limitations is just your eyesight. How many of us wear glasses? I'm going to estimate probably more than half of us. A couple of tips about that. Firstly, get your laptop nice and high and get it forward and towards you. Secondly, you can always adjust the font size in your software. Again, I was with DJ Jazzy Jeff last week filming our new course with him, and his font is nice and big. I'm sure you set your phone font so that it doesn't involve you having to go like this, right, to see anything. You can do the same on DJ software. But another really good tip, and I do this on all my computers, if you go into the operating system of your computer and go to the display settings, it will be set to the default for the size of screen you've got. So for instance, you might have a screen that's, I don't know, 2556 or 2560 or whatever, pixels that way and 1990 that way or whatever. Just nudge it one towards larger. Just one. It'll have a few clicks. Nudge it one towards larger. Everything on your screen will get larger at the expense of the amount that you can fit on, of course. But you might just find that you look at it and go, all my programs are easier to use now. And so that one tip has changed my life as far as my computers are concerned, because I used to have glasses for my computer and a different pair of reading glasses for here and other ones for driving, and I'd leave one pair at home, and nothing says, you know, losing it in the eye department like having different glasses for everything. And now just by doing that, it's really made a lot of that easier. I can generally use my computer, whatever I'm wearing. And so certain pairs have got thrown into the back of the bedside drawer, never to be used again, which is good. It makes me feel younger, having fewer glasses to carry around. What have we come to, eh? But it's true. And so look, make the fonts on your DJ software bigger, make the overall size of your screen bigger, and have a decent stand to bring it closer to you. So if you do those things, nice high table, sit down when you're not actually performing, and have your laptop nice and in front of you, I promise you, you will find that some of those physical limitations are not quite so onerous. And another one, by the way, just have decent trainers on. I've got some nice cushioned hockers on here, and you can buy cushioned pads. You often see them in, you know, when you're moving through the security at an airport, and they make you take your shoes off before you go through the x-ray machine. They quite often have those nice soft pads on either side to make it more comfortable for you as you're walking through. You can buy them on Amazon. Buy them and put them down on the floor where you stand. This is, you know, anyone who works in a job where they've got to stand up knows all about what I'm talking about here. They're very cheap, and it would just make everything easier for you where you DJ. Right, so don't worry about physical limitations. There's ways around this stuff. The next big issue that our students tell us, our older students tell us, is I struggle to keep up with modern music. Right? I'm going to give you some personal thoughts here. Firstly, if you're a hobby DJ, if you're coming into this because it's something you love, something you've always wanted to do, then don't worry about keeping up with anything. Play the music you love. That's what's going to inspire you. Don't suddenly become a DJ and start trying to please everyone else. There are three types of DJ. There's two hands telling you there are three types of DJ. I don't really know why two hands had to tell you. There's the hobby DJ, there's the working DJ, and there's the career DJ. And there's only one of those types of DJ that has to play what people ask for In other words, you've got to know all the music because people might be asking. And that's the working DJ in the middle. The career DJ, your Louis Vegas and your Jazzy Jeffs and your David Guettas of this world, you ain't going to tell them what to play. They play what they want. They play what they're known for. And your hobby DJ, and that's you, same deal. That came straight from our friend Jazzy Jeff, by the way. That little piece of advice I gave you there, he was telling us that last week. Look, there's no reason why you should play music that you don't love at your point in life, and if you're coming into this for a hobby, because you've got up here more music than most people have got stashed away over the decades. You know the great songs. And if not, you'll quickly remember them when you go and start looking for them from way further back than most people. So they're the songs that you should be assembling. I'll let you into a little secret. There ain't too much brilliant music released every year. There just isn't. A few people release great new music and everyone else copies it for forever and ever and ever. If you were a DJ that had hundreds and hundreds of new songs every month, piling up into thousands over the years, which I had before I sold all my vinyl to go digital a long time ago, you will know this to be true, because when I was going through all that vinyl, literally like 10,000 records to decide what I wanted to keep, not very much, I realized that there were only a few really classic songs released every year. And so you're in a better position than most to figure out what they are and put those in your DJ collection. And also it comes down to who you're playing for and why you're doing this. If you want to play out, well, of course you're going to need a wider variety of music. But here's another little truth. No young crowd is going to book you to DJ for them. The people that you play for are going to be the people maybe getting married for a second time, or having 40th or 50th or 60th birthday parties, or you decide to put on a special party looking back at music that you love. And so the people who come are going to be your people, and they're going to want to hear your music, not you trying to play modern music, which would be a bit tragic. So final little tip here. I'm quite passionate about this because music goes way beyond all the technology, and it even goes way beyond DJing. Music is here, right? Pop music is finite. Pop music isn't classical music. It isn't jazz. It hasn't got this incredible breadth of creativity going on in it. Pop music's there. It's immediate. It defines a time and a place, but it's finite. That's why AI is very good at writing pop music, because the rules are quite simple. And so the thing with pop music is when you've seen it come round once or twice or 3 times, and you've suddenly seen all the edges of pop music, where it fits into the bigger world of music, you kind of know it. And so once you kind of know it, then you know a little bit better than most that all this stuff coming out that 15-year-olds are going crazy for, by the time you're 50, you can remember the original tracks this stuff came from. And you probably think they're better, and you might be right. You might not be, but you might be, right? So you've got this ability to judge. You've got this ability to measure everything that comes out against everything that's come before in a way that younger people don't. So use that. It's a strength. It's a superpower. It's not a weakness. You're not meant to like everything that comes out, so don't worry that you don't. Right, so our final tip for older DJs, older beginners getting into DJing for the first time, is one that I think is, the reason I put this at the end is I want you to remember it, because it's true for all learning, not just for DJing. And whatever you choose to do as you get older to keep your mind alive and to keep you enthusiastic and bouncing out of bed in the morning, whatever you choose to learn, you're going to feel like this. It's just part of being an older person. And that is, you feel a little bit silly trying. So you might be here on Digital DJ Tips, watching our videos. You might be getting our guide. You might even have read our book. You might then say, you know what? These guys have got it for me. I'm going to go and buy one of their courses, etc., etc., etc. But there's going to come a point where you sit down and it's just you and your DJ gear, and you're like, I've got to start now. And you feel a little bit silly. You feel like a bit of an imposter. You feel like this is going to be hard. And you start to doubt yourself, and you think, this doesn't feel like I wanted it to feel. This doesn't feel good. This feels horrible. Who am I kidding with all this stuff? The thing is, kids don't feel like that. Kids just throw themselves into stuff and have this ability to just go for it without that self-doubt, without that worry. it's a superpower of the young. Unfortunately, I think it fades. I know it fades when we get older. I think as we get older, we feel like we're meant to know everything. We're meant to be able to pick stuff up easily. In all the other areas of our life, we're probably really competent, right? We've done well in our job, we've got a good relationship, whatever, got a nice house, we're good at whatever sports we play, we can understand most of what we read in the paper, you know what I mean, everything. We're quite good at most stuff, right? And then suddenly there's this thing you're not good at. And it's not a nice feeling, especially when you're someone who expects to be able to pick things up quite quickly. But look, you've always wanted to do this, and until now you haven't. That should be telling you that it's not going to be plain sailing. It's not going to be easy. But that doesn't mean that you have to do it on your own, and it doesn't mean it can't also be fun. Once you accept, look, there's going to be a few hoops to jump through here, and I'm going to feel a bit funny with some of this. Once you accept that, there are two things that can help you. The first thing is learning in a structured way, rather than just sitting there going, what am I meant to do here? Learning in a structured way, because there is a structure, there is a way to learn DJing. Our way of teaching teaches it in 5 ways: gear, music, mixing, performing, and success, which is what you do next. What you do next in DJing nowadays is so wide. We've talked about it a bit already today. Live streaming, making mixtapes, just playing at home for yourself for fun. There's all kinds of ways of pre-doing DJ mixes if you don't actually want to do them in front of an audience. And then there's so many places for older DJs to play out nowadays that didn't exist before, etc., etc. So look, there's a standard way that we teach, and it's worked very well for 15 years, that takes you through all of that. So follow a structure. Whatever structure you choose, have one, because it means you won't turn up at DJ sessions thinking, what am I meant to be doing here? Which is not what you want. But the second thing that's going to help you through is community, is support, is having people around you who understand your journey and who've been there before and have done it, or are currently on that journey. Especially if you're learning online and you're learning on your own, because it's quite hard to find peer support. You know, you're not a kid with loads of people around you coming out every time you DJ to dance to your sets, or loads of other DJs around you who are doing the same thing. It just doesn't happen. People have, gone off and done their own thing. So finding that community and that support is important. So here at the school, we have a Facebook group for all of our students. It's called Student Hub. It's a hugely supportive place to hang out. And it's got people from, as I said, 18 to 80 in there. You will find people just like you who are learning. It's full of thousands of people from all of our DJ courses. That's one way of getting a ready-made community to help you. But the other way, look, in our school here, Steve and myself and the other tutors, we spend sometimes hours every morning just going through student comments, questions, feedback, and so on from our nearly 30 courses. And it's a very valuable time for both them and us. For them, obviously, they're going to get help, and that would be you. But for us, we're starting to see what the problems are. We're starting to see how things change over the years, and it allows us to feed that back into what we do, which is, of course, how I know these are 5 real pain points for people learning at an older age. So do have a community around you, do have a structure to how you learn, and that'll help you get over these bumps of thinking, am I the only one doing this? Is there a reason for that? I shouldn't be doing this, should I? It will stop all that. It will just give you a little bit of calm. And a final tip, have a lava lamp on your desktop. You think I'm joking, don't you? We set a lava lamp up at home, and I love it. I sit there working, and whenever I feel the stress levels rising, I just look at it. It maybe slows me down a bit, but maybe that's a good thing. Anyway, that's not going to make it into our training. It's just something I realized today and told my wife, this lava lamp's really helping. Anyway, look, there is room for you in DJing, whatever age you are, especially if you're an older DJ. Our complete DJ course is the one, and that's over on our website. So do go and take a look at that if you want to get started right now. With us, it's a 45% saving on our complete DJ course right now, because our Black Friday sale has just opened. But all of our courses are in that sale as well. So do that. And also do come and take a look at those testimonials on our website. Click on the testimonials link at the top. I think that will probably help you to be reassured that there's lots and lots of people just like you learning to DJ right now. It's not a silly thing to want to do. It's a brave thing to want to do. It's a great thing to want to do. So come and have a look at that as well. Meanwhile, though, I just want to spend the last few minutes we've got together today chatting about this, because I know there's going to be lots of comments coming in from our wonderful community. And so let's go over to the live comments now and see what you've got to say about this. Right, so this is from Stuart, who says, "Oh, I'm sat sat around unable to watch, but I'll watch you on repeat. Oh, thank you for that, Stuart. Sarah says, hello. Sarah says, I'm on the testimonial page. Oh, that's good to know, Sarah. Good student of ours, though, so I'm not surprised at that. Craig says, hey all, I'm from the UK. I'm 53 years young. I'm not new to DJing. I've been doing it for 35 years, but always up for learning new tricks and tips. Keeping your mind open is definitely helpful. Big R Buck on Twitch says, I'll never DJ in a club, but being good enough for house parties is fine by me. Back into DJing at 45. And Todd says, I've been DJing for over 50 years. Truth says, AL Reality Acquisitions and Development. That's a long name, but I doubt that that is your actual name, right? I'm being facetious. Anyway, over on YouTube, thank you for that. Whoever you may be working for that company. Right, so this is from Mixmaster G, one of our regulars, and again, no spring chicken, and I'm sure you don't mind me saying that, Mixmaster G, who's in the Netherlands, saying it's already dark outside. Yeah, it does get dark, doesn't it, early at this time of year? We've got 3 more weeks, I think, or is it 4 weeks? 3.5 until the shortest day in the Northern Hemisphere, which means it'll be countdown to summer. How cool is that? This is from Craig as a great tip. Says, try to leave your gear set up. Then you can dip in and out and you can do 15 or 20 minutes every now and then. I'm lucky I have a spare room. And of course, if we are people who've managed to get somewhere as far as buying a nice space to live in goes, that means that we will be probably more able than some people to set up our gear and leave it set up in that way. And I agree completely. It's a really good thing to be able to do. Right, so I would read more comments, but as usual, it sometimes happens, our comment system here kind of like throws a wobbly, and it stopped feeding them to me about 20 minutes ago. So I don't know what else has been said by you guys on Facebook, YouTube and Twitch. So sorry about that. But anyway, we've got some nice comments in there anyway from the audience here. Just another reminder then that you can grab our courses at up to 45% off, including the one I would thoroughly recommend for all beginner DJs, but especially for older beginner DJs, where I personally talk you very, very clearly through the 5 big areas of DJing as taught in our book. So go to the homepage of digitaldjtips.com, watch that video where I'll explain it all to you, and grab it now because it's 45% off. Right now, this only happens very rarely, and this is one of those times, Black Friday, of course, and have a look, see if it's for you. It's been great to bring this to you. I hope you find this useful. But meanwhile, from me, Phil, here in the Digital DJ Tips studio, I'm off to stare at my lava lamp. So get good, get out there, make the moments, and I will see you again very soon. Until next time, bye-bye.